Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's masterclass, which is all about confidence formula. So, I hope you're ready to spend the next 30 minutes building your confidence so that you can own the rest of your 2022. Because are you looking to start a new project but you just don't know where to start? Are you looking to monetize your existing projects but you're a bit too nervous to put yourself out there fully? Then trust me, you're in the right place. We're going to help you take your passion project to the next level in 2022 by getting outside of your comfort zone faster and crowning your own darn self. It's time to finally tick off those goals that are on your heart. So before we get started, a little bit about me. I am a Kiwi entrepreneur who's been building an online business for 4 years now. On the better side of 30, a country girl at heart, a loving partner, and fur mum to 2 cute cats. I'm a lover of all things pink and red, which you'd know if you follow me on social media. Part-time mermaid, of course, social marketer, and confidence coach. So let me know where you're from and what it is that you love in life. Because I believe that you were truly born to be a queen or a king, and that it's time that you stop waiting for someone else to give you validation and approval. You don't need any of that. Stop waiting for someone else to crown you. It's time to step into your own, build your confidence, and crown your own darn head, because the power of confidence is within you and you deserve it. I'm here to guide you towards finding that power for yourself. So 2 years ago, I made a major shift in my business. I had to pivot and move online like a lot of us did. I saw that a lot of people were living in a state of fear and negativity, putting up the walls of their comfort zone, which only made them more unhappy as they reflected on their jobs, home, family, relationship, bucket list, pretty much everything in their life up until that point. Was that you too? Because it's totally okay if you felt like that, because it was definitely me for a hot minute. But luckily, I don't stick around for pity parties, and I realized as 2020 progressed, I was actually feeling happy and confident about the future, despite everything going on. People started asking me, how can I stay so positive and confident? So that's when I decided to really share my tools with, the wider world and help other people build their confidence, which is what leads us here tonight. So I've learned that there are 5 steps to building your confidence, which I'm super excited to share with you tonight via the confidence formula that I've created. But before we dive into that, I want to go over what confidence is and what it isn't. So, just adjust that a bit. The confidence isn't something that you're just born with. You don't have to be an extrovert. It's not a personality trait, and you're not defined by it. You're not a confident person. You're just someone that has confidence. You may be confident in some areas of your life and not in others. And look, there is growing research that shows that emotions, trauma, etc., can be passed from parents to babies through DNA, but the research isn't strong enough yet. And look, I don't know enough about that topic to cover it. But so what I'm trying to say is technically there is a chance you may be born with a predisposition to confidence or not. But that, even if you were, that may not be nurtured as you're growing up. You don't actually have much control over what is instilled in you as you grow up from your parents, your environment, your school, community, etc. And over 90% of who you become is actually developed by age 7, which is mind-blowing. But with all those stats, it's easy to see why people think that confidence is something you're just born with or without. But the good news is, although you can't choose a software that you're instilled with as a child, you can certainly choose your upgrades. Meaning that even if you had no confidence as a child, it's something you can learn. Confidence is something that you can learn later on in life. This is because confidence isn't a skill, it's something that takes, that's because confidence is a skill and it's something that takes practice. Confidence can be strengthened and grown much like a muscle. It's because confidence is part of our mindset in our brain, and our brain grows and strengthens the actions and thoughts that we repeat. It's neuroscience and all that stuff is a whole other topic for a whole other day, but that saying, like, what you focus on grows, is so true. So to grow your confidence, you must take action. It's one thing to actually think about all the things you want to do, but you have to take action and be congruent. Action and confidence are entwined. The more action you take, the more confidence you will feel. And the more confidence you feel, the more action you're likely to take. So it's this repeating cycle, but we'll cover more on that later. The goal here is just to take that first step that triggers that, never-ending action confidence cycle. And look, it's not to say that because you take action and try new things that you never feel fear. Confidence is all about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Like, there's a whole myth. Confident people do actually feel fear. I feel fear all the time. It's just that I choose to take the action anyway and overcome it. It doesn't mean that, taking action and thinking you'll get it the first time and be perfect. That is called arrogance, not confidence. That is your ego talking. But what it means is that by taking action, you know that you'll figure it out eventually, even if you get it wrong along the way sometimes. True confidence is acknowledging that you won't be perfect or feel great 100% of the time, but you'll do it anyway because you know you'll get there. To be confident means that you know that you'll fail, but you know that that's okay because there's always a lesson to be learned in that and that you'll grow from it. In fact, I believe there's only 2 ways to truly fail. 1 is to never try in the first place, and 2 is to quit and give up. Getting things wrong, I don't see as failing. If you learn from it, get back up and try again. It's that whole failing forward. That's what we're aiming for. Confidence comes from having a growth mindset, from being hungry to learn. A fixed mindset thinks that all the skills and beliefs that you currently have are fixed and can't be grown, improved, or changed. A fixed mindset thinks that you have to work hard at something, that must be a bad thing, and you should only focus on things that you're naturally good at. But a growth mindset believes that they can learn or do anything that they set their mind to. That the more effort they put into something, the better they'll become at it. They know that if they're not naturally good at something, they just take it as a sign that they need to work harder or smarter, that they're on a never-ending quest to improve themselves. So let me know below if you have more of a fixed mindset or a growth mindset currently. And it's totally okay to have a fixed mindset right now, and that's what we're here to help. We're here to help you work on that. So people often think that if you're truly confident, then you'll be popular and everyone will like you. And it is true that confidence is contagious and we're attracted to confident people. That's why we're here, wanting to grow confidence, right? But the fact of the matter is that confident people don't worry so much about other people's opinions. I mean, they'll take them on board, but that's not the be-all and end-all for them. They don't validate themselves based on what other people think. They stick to their beliefs and values and take action that's in alignment with that, whether people like them for it or not. They also hold good body language. They hold themselves up straight with their shoulders back, a glint in their eyes, and excitement in their voice. You can feel it when someone that's talking to you is confident. It's not enough to simply say you're confident. If you say it with, your shoulders slumped forward in a slouch, no one will believe you. I'm confident. No one's going to believe you if you say it like that. And you probably won't believe it yourself either. So practicing good posture will help with your confidence too. So the next thing you want to do is develop the identity of someone who will take action and figure things out. To have this identity, you have to believe that you have control over your own life and that you'll take action. And it can help to give this confident persona a name, even if it's something like Bronte 2.0 or, insert name 2.0. Just ask yourself, whenever you're feeling stuck, just what would Bronte 2.0 do in this situation? How would she feel? How would she show up? What does she believe in? How would she approach the situation? And, how would she approach the steps that she knows she needs to take to achieve these goals? And taking on that persona can really help you become that persona more quickly. So next thing, let's look at the 5 steps in the confidence formula. So take a picture of the slide if you need to, so that you can come back to it and refer to it at any time, because I find it very helpful to kind of remind myself of all the steps I need to take to build confidence regularly. So we're going to be looking at self-awareness, understanding and recognizing your ego, how to stop relying on external factors to build self-esteem, how to be comfortable with what you lack, and find comfort in failing, that whole failing forward thing again. So make sure you've taken a picture and we'll get started. So number 1 is, let's start with self-awareness. So you want to acknowledge how far you've come. We often fail to give ourselves credit for what we've achieved so far. How many times have you achieved a goal only to rush on to the next one instead of stopping to recognize what you've just accomplished and celebrate it? We forget that, even celebrities and athletes can lose their confidence when they forget to step 2. No one in this world is immune to lack of confidence. We can get so caught up in comparing ourselves to others instead of comparing ourselves to ourselves. because you are not them, they are not you. Look, for example, I grew up with an identical twin, and even those two are totally different people. So stop comparing yourself to others. Your journey, skills, wisdom, purpose, and drive will never be the same as anyone else's. Remember where you started and the obstacles you've overcome already. Ingrain that into your body. Give yourself credit every day. Look in the mirror and tell yourself all that you've achieved. You're great at so many things even without receiving external recognition for them all. It's all those small things like, did you lift one more weight at the gym than yesterday? Did you run an extra 100 meters compared to yesterday? Did you put in that extra effort on a project at work or get the project submitted, a week earlier than the last project? Did your family love the dinner you made last night? Heck, did you even manage to fold and put away the washing the same day that you washed it? Celebrate all those wins, all those little wins every day. Look yourself straight in the eye in the mirror and celebrate. Give yourself a high five, do a little dance, raise the energy, shout it to the rooftop, all of your wins every day, no matter how big or small. You're still growing and doing better than yesterday, and that's what matters. I also love keeping it a little book. I've got one where I write down all my wins and all my gratitude lists, and I pull out my old ones. I pulled out one from a couple of years ago and I read it, and it makes you so happy, all the cool things, to remind yourself all the cool things that you've done every now and then. So it just takes 10 minutes to shout it to the rooftops, congratulate yourself in the mirror, and also just write it down so you can come back to it later. So number 2 is to recognize and understand your ego. So your real ego is the essence of who you are. It's your consciousness and it's your awareness. But then there's this know-it-all false ego with a false sense of confidence that thinks it's never wrong. It's always right. But that is what we call arrogance. It's the voice that says, yeah, Bronte, I already know this. I am confident and happy exactly where I am. It says we're significant, we're clever, we deserve recognition. And we hide under this ego, covering up our true selves with this version we think the world will like, appreciate, and recognize. And look, even I get that sometimes, and I got to give myself, rein it in and give myself a reality check too. I am not immune to the ego, that's for sure. Because that ego thinks it's special. The ego will tell you that you don't need to watch this video because you already know everything and have it all under control. You are confident and you've got this already. The ego puts down others and gossips to make itself feel better. I'm sure we can all relate to this ego because it's still part of all of us. And that ego is also, as confident as it is, but that false confidence that it is, that ego is also guarded by fear and shame. It can't handle being wrong, so it will defend its beliefs to the end with no willingness to learn. Think about it. Are you ashamed? Or are you grateful when you discover that you were wrong about something and now have an opportunity to learn? Will you admit your mistakes and look for those learning opportunities, or will you defend yourself to the bitter end? Even though back in your mind, you're wrong. You're like, nope, I'm right, because you don't want anyone to find out that you were wrong. Ask yourself, are you willing to work on your weaknesses? When you feel the ego arising, ask, is this me or is this the ego? The ego lives in the past and the future. It can't live in the present. So we want to build confidence, not ego. So quick reality check. So we're trying to build the self-confidence, which is high self-esteem, not the ego. So let's compare the two. This is another one you might want to take a snapshot of the screen to save for later, to give yourself that little reality check when you feel that ego coming in, and how to reframe it and reframe it into high self-esteem or confidence. So big ego, having a big ego. The ego will fear what people say, whereas having high self-esteem, you will filter what people say. The ego compares itself to others. With having high self-esteem, you just compare yourself to yourself. The ego wants to prove itself. But having high self-esteem, you just want to be yourself. The ego knows everything. Having high self-esteem, you understand that you can learn from anyone. The ego pretends to be strong. Having high self-esteem, you know it's okay to be vulnerable. The ego wants people to respect them. Whereas having high self-esteem, you respect yourself and others. You don't need anyone else to respect you. So that's the difference between the two. And we're aiming for the right side. Having high confidence, and high self-esteem. So number 3, we want We want to stop relying on external factors to build self-esteem. So you don't need a top corporate job, house, or Ferrari to be confident. You don't need people to tell you that you're amazing and to give you an award for being number 1. Like, how many times have you got that top job or that promotion that you're going for, and you still don't feel confident in your professional capabilities? You got there, you hit the goal, and you're like, still don't feel great, right? Especially when, say it was a job and you're given new tasks that the new role brings, and you're like, I don't know how to do that. And maybe I suck. Maybe I'm not ready for this role. You build those stories in your head. Confidence and self-esteem comes from within. I think you're getting that message right now because it's been repeated a lot. Confidence is the feeling and a revelation of your true self, despite people judging you for it or not. Often we think people are judging us for things, and it's all just a story in our head, and people don't care about you as much as they think they do. Anyway, despite people judging you for it with or without external recognition. It's a perception that you lack nothing. Have integrity in being yourself and follow your values consistently. Number 4, be comfortable with what you lack, even though I just said you lack nothing. This all makes sense. Because confidence is internal and we need to let go of that external validation, this means we need to get comfortable with what we don't have, with what we lack. Goals in the future are useful big tools to use occasionally, but focus on spending most of your time in the present and be okay with it. Be okay with everything that you have and don't have in this current moment. The big lie about confidence is that it isn't so much to do with being comfortable in what we achieve, but it is everything to do with being comfortable in what we don't achieve. Not beating yourself up for all the things you don't achieve. Whatever you are trying to do right now, you can be comfortable and confident in doing it, and competent, no matter how little tools you have. It's like if you're trying to get fit at the gym, you don't need expensive activewear to be confident at the gym or to be able to do 100 press-ups. You can become confident in both of those things with the tools, the clothes you have now. What others say about you, how you look and all that, or how you're doing those first 10 press-ups when it's your first time trying, then none of that matters, because remember, there's no comparison. As long as you improve on yesterday, that is the only comparison worth making. As long as you do one more press-up than you did yesterday, or keep showing up every day at gym, that is what matters. So number 5, find comfort in failing. So failing is just all a part of the learning. That's how you got to see it. Failure is how we grow and move forward. In fact, I don't even like the word failure, because like I said earlier, the only way to truly fail is to quit or never try in the first place. But if we're just going to use the word failure because it's, you understand what I mean when I say that. So if you want to increase your success and double your failure rate, what? Yes, because learning from those failures will get you on the path of success faster. Think about it. You wouldn't be walking if it wasn't for failure. How many times did you fall over on your path to successful walking? Did you compare yourself to other toddlers around you and think, everyone else is walking and I just keep falling over. I may as well give up and stick to crawling. No way. You became comfortable in failing and kept trying over and over until you succeeded, and learning when you stood a certain way and you didn't get your balance right, you learned from that and you tried it a different way the next time until you got there. Failure is simply a lack of knowledge plus skill plus practice. It's not a reflection of who you are as a person. You are not a failure. That is not your identity. If you wanted to become more confident in your social life, let's say, then you would become more comfortable with rejection. Becoming comfortable with people not liking you as long as you're expressing yourself honestly is what you'd focus on. The road to positive is through negative. Those who are most comfortable with negative experiences reap the most benefit because they see them as chances to grow. Don't worry about becoming comfortable in your own failure, which I know people do. Doesn't mean you become a failure. It means that you can act despite the fear of getting it wrong again. You can engage without judgment and love without conditions. That's what we're aiming for. So those are the 5 steps to master your confidence, then make up the confidence formula. To master those 5 areas and you'll be confident in no time. You now know what they are and why you should master them. But if you want to know how to master them, the exact steps to take, then stay tuned to the end. But before we get to that, let's have a quick look at the confidence cycle that I also put together as a bonus, which I like to see as a roadmap to follow to building confidence. So we have the confidence cycle. So we start in our comfort zone. This is where you are right now with your current capabilities and obviously what you're comfortable with doing. And this is ego protecting us, keeping us here. It's what we're comfortable with, and it's encased by the ego. And it's all your current abilities. And the ego is armor built up from childhood and all the things you have got right and wrong in the past. And it's the stories that you make up that say, this is who I am. And this is, I know everything I need to know. I don't need to try anything new because I'm good right where I am, right here in my comfort zone. So the first step is vulnerability. The vulnerability is the birthplace of love, creativity, and innovation. Vulnerability is knowing that you'll fail, but you'll do it anyway. Vulnerability is that first little step outside, first bit of action outside that comfort zone, followed by comfort zone. So I like to think of your comfort zone as being guarded by the fear and shame dogs. Vulnerability is what goes up to say hello and pats the dogs, right? It tests the water. But courage is what just takes bold action. It goes up, it strolls up and takes those dogs for a walk. That's the difference between vulnerability and courage. Courage is taking bold action, which leads to failure, but also to learning and making progress and moving forward. And taking that action makes us congruent with our intention. Lack of action increases fear and worry, which keeps us inside our comfort zone. Think about it. If you sit in here and tell yourself, tomorrow I'm going to work on this thing, then tomorrow comes and you talk yourself out of it, no, it's all right, tomorrow I'll do the thing. The longer you keep telling yourself that and not taking the action, have you ever noticed the less confident you'll feel about the action you wanted to take? And the more worried and anxious you are, and it's a reverse cycle. It takes you down the confidence cycle instead of up it. So what we want to do is, commit to an action in just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and do it. So Brene, before you can overthink it, the Brene Brown says the definition of courage is to speak one's mind by telling all one's heart. Practice the act of courage. Take uncomfortable action. Repeat it over and over consistently. So we're now outside. That courage took us outside our comfort zone. So now if we repeat it consistently, and that's that whole take a step, got it wrong, learn from it, practice it again. This creates the competency. You can now do the action that you're trying to do, like the walking. You learned to stand up and hold on to something. That was vulnerability, and then taking a step without holding on to something, that was the courage. Now outside the comfort zone of crawling, and then you fell over, but then you tried it again. You practiced. You got up, held on to something, let go, took a few steps, fell over, and you practice and practice until you were competent at it, and that created your new comfort zone, which is crazy, right? Confidence takes you out of your comfort zone only to build a new comfort zone. So really, rather than a cycle, it's like an upward spiral. As soon as you become confident in something, you've created new comfort zones. You want to always be trying to get out. You went from walking to jogging to running to doing a marathon. But the least you practice something, the more you can fall back down the other way of the confidence cycle. So I hope that all makes sense. And this is another one you want to take a screenshot of and keep for later. So what's next? Well, you have 2 options. There's 2 doors here that you can take. Door 1, you can take this newfound knowledge, walk away, go it alone, put it all into practice. Maybe let fear and self-doubt start to creep back in because it's so easy for those voices and stories to start up in your head. And maybe forget about this after a while and let your ego convince you that it's okay to stay in your comfort zone right where you are, and you don't really need to achieve that goal and work on that project or start putting yourself out there to try and monetize that project. It's okay. You were actually fine. You're happy in your 9 to 5 doing what you're doing. You can just stay right here. Or door 2, you can think, reflect, and ask yourself, well, if I haven't been able to make change and build my confidence so far on my own, why would I be able to start? What makes me think I could start it on my own right now? What's any different? What will make me change now? And I believe accountability is the key to that door. You don't need external validation, as I've said, but support, encouragement, community, and advice does help. So you can choose to walk through the door to the Confidence Club and join us, because we're about to approach, we're slowly approaching the halfway mark for 2022. We're nearly halfway through the year, which is crazy. So you can choose to commit to the next 90 days to building your confidence and enter the second half of 2022 the best version of yourself so far. Don't put off to next month, next year, next whenever. Don't make the same excuse that you always do that always holds you back. Your next level, your goals, they're waiting for you. So all you have to do, first act of vulnerability. We're not taking the big, bold, courageous action yet, just one small act of vulnerability. And that's to just book a free 15-minute call with me and see if the Confidence Club is right for you. All you have to do is just drop a me below if you'd like to book a free introductory call. That's not hard. That's not asking for too much. Just 2 letters and press enter. And if nothing else, I can give you a free customized game plan on the call to build your confidence in the area that you want to level up to most. And then you can go try it alone. So what exactly is a Confidence Club? Well, it's part one-on-one coaching, part group coaching, and part self-taught. So you get the best of all methods, and you can really lean into the teaching style that works best for you. And to get this party started, for the first 10 people to join the club this month, you'll get an upgrade. Because this program is all about learning to, make bold moves and take courageous action, why not start by taking action today and getting the ball rolling faster? So what is our signature offer of the Confidence Club? Well, this is what you will normally get while working with us. You'll get 90 days of wraparound support, community, accountability, training, and fun, of course. Got to make it fun. 12 video modules, training modules on how to build confidence that you can work through at your own pace, your own time. You have access to that for life. A workbook covering all those modules in summary so you don't have to take notes, because I know I love to just focus on the video and not have to be like pausing, writing, scribbling, pausing, playing, and all that. So I'm just going to give you the workbook of the notes to come back to. Also, you might just be more of a reader than a watcher. And also just, having both really helps it get into your brain more. If you can listen to something, watch something, and read it, helps, just make those neural pathways in your brain. So you'll also get weekly group coaching calls with the whole community so that you can learn from both myself, but also from one another. Because, I've been on this journey, but you're all going on this journey at the same time together. So why not bounce off each other and, make new friends who are going through the same things as you? And you'll also get 2 one-on-one growth sessions with me to really help you build your confidence. You'll get physical resources to guide you on your journey, because who doesn't love getting gifts in the mail and having something tangible to work with? It's all good being in this digital space, but if you're like me, I love surprises in the mail, and 2, I just love something physical I can get my hands on that's going to help me. You'll, of course, get daily content to keep you motivated on track. You get weekly email check-ins to keep you accountable and get your questions answered, as well as that weekly group coaching session. And then, the weekly group coaching sessions and lives to answer all your frequently asked questions. Because the thing is, the questions you have, likely 10 other people have the same questions. So I'll check in weekly to answer all those. But for those first 10 bold action takers, you will also get a bonus one-on-one training session with me. So that's 3 total. A bonus months of coaching, 100% free. So that's 4 months of coaching, which is awesome. Priority support with the emails and everything. And a sweet 25% discount, of course. So, and also probably the most important to mention, come August 2022, after this round wraps up, we're bumping up the cost of the Confidence Club. So May is literally the best time to work with us in this current 90-day round, because it's the cheapest it'll ever be moving forward. So if you're intrigued, curious, you want more info, just drop me below, just 2 letters plus enter, and we'll get you booked in for that 15-minute casual chat to see if the Confidence Club is right for you. And if it's not, totally no worries. I'm just happy knowing that you've walked away with some tips and tools that are going to help you build your confidence tonight. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you sharing your precious time with me, because time is your most valuable resource. Enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, take care. I believe in you, and you've got this, Queen. Thanks, everyone. And I will see you all.